Hey guys, Sugar Apple John coming at you with another Awaken Chaos Era video. Now on today's video, what we're going to be talking about is going to be a lot about this gear enhancement event. You will notice that this event is going on for quite some time. We are literally going to be on this event for about 8 days. So I wanted to do a very special video, kind of breaking down like what's your best route on trying to complete this gear enhancement event. And I think this will segue into a good idea as to what you should be doing and how you should upgrade your gear and the different methods that you can use to kind of justify getting the materials you need to upgrade your gear. Okay, so like I said, guys, we do have this gear enhancement event. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Let's look at it, see what the rewards are so you guys understand. So you can't see because I've kind of completed some of this, but we got gold, we got EXP jelly, we got a double EXP card. We also got these event points, premium elemental chests, advanced summoning shards, okay, another one here, 4-star pumpkin, stardust. Now, the thing that's going to be the most notable on this is going to be the Awaken Soul Arcana. So this is what everybody's going to want to get. My free-to-play, especially, I'm going to be going for this in my free-to-play. And that's what kind of made me trigger wanting to make this video, because I'm going to play my free-to-play just a little bit more because I really want to get this Soul Arcana. Given that my free-to-play, you know, I have some of the epics I want, but without these Soul Arcanas, I'm probably never going to get them to the state where I have them on my main where I've spent money, right? So I really wanted to do this video, not only to help myself, but I figured, you know what, if I'm going to be helping myself to make sure I succeed on my free-to-play series, let's go ahead and let's help you guys succeed as well. So this event, I like these kind of events, and there's two reasons why. So a lot of people will just roll gear any time of the day, right? And that's okay, but I like that we're having these kinds of events. I hope they give us these events more frequently, because to me, when you're trying to play a game like this, it's really nice to know gear that you're trying to target, as well as build up the resources to upgrade the gear. So notice, as we scroll through my characters here, I don't have a whole lot of pieces of gear to 15. This is because it takes so many resources. I can literally make 3 level 12s for 115. I've done the math, it's there. We're gonna do a little bit of math today too as well, so we can kind of understand this. But notice, like, my boy Imogen, Brandon Brilliant, I don't have extra gear for them because I haven't really wanted to take the time to upgrade the gear. Now that we have an event that's gonna give me back something, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start working on this. But to work on this, I gotta have the resources. So if we go into materials, we'll see that I don't have a crap load of these upgrade charms. Now I only have 5 of the special gears. I've got 14 of the purples. Now this is because, obviously, being a streamer, the other day when I was doing some Void Tower hard content, I did go ahead and build up a couple of characters and gear, which kind of basically depleted my resources. Now I have been farming a lot, but as you see here, we're only back up to like in the 20s on these events, special gems here. These aren't going to give me as much resources as what you really think they are. But the one thing that, let's go ahead and segue into talking about what they do give you. So you will notice if you click on these resources, it'll tell you what the EXP they give. Holy Light Mineral, which contains 10,000 points of EXP. Okay, so let's remember that. The special gear charm, the Lego one, we'll call it, is 10,000 points. Now these individual purple ones are 3,000, same as the overall, right? They're all weighted the same. And then you have the small ones. These are weighted 1,000. Okay, so let's think about this. So we get 10,000, 3,000, 1,000. Now let's go look at what a piece of gear is weighted for. So if we pull up an actual piece of gear, let's go, you know what? Let's go manage sell. That way I can kind of, let's filter in a piece of gear that I kind of would be interested in rolling up. You know what? Let's see if I have a crit damage ring with crit rate that I haven't rolled yet. Oof. No, I don't have great ones. I don't have great ones, guys. Wow, these are bad. Well, let's try this one. Okay. So here's why we're doing this. So one, if we click on one piece of gear, we'll see what it's worth. So see how that was worth plus 700. Okay. So that is worth well, almost one of these blue ones here. Let me move my head out of the way as well. If I do this, maybe you guys can see just a little better. Flip the camera like so. Boom. Doing it live. Okay. So this is for a 5-star piece of gear. Now, notice that's plus 700. If I go to a purple one, it's still plus 7. What this means is for each campaign run you do, right, that drops in Mythic, let me specify, that drops a 5-star piece of gear, you are getting a plus 700 piece of gear to upgrade one of your characters. That's the first caveat of this. Let's talk about that first. Okay, so now let's go to a 6-star piece of gear. Okay, 6-star piece of gear is worth 1,200, which is 200 more than this right here. Okay, but a 6-star piece of gear, even all the way up to an epic, is still only worth 1,200. Let's go ahead and let's unselect those so that way you guys can see even the Lego is also worth the same. That's the biggest thing I want to point out is these are all weighted the same. So people who are telling you, hey, save your legendaries, they do better or more, they don't. They're all weighted the same. It just goes by the tier of the piece of gear. It also uses the exact same amount of gold as it does for the XP transfer for the piece of gear. It's very transparent. I love that about this system. I just wish the 15 was a little less than what it is. But yeah, so you'll get 1,200. It takes 1,200 gold with a piece of gear. So right there, you know, okay, so as long as we're getting 6-star pieces of gear, that gives me 1,200. Well, a charm is going to be worth 3,000, right? This is a purple charm, and then a Lego charm is worth 10,000. So that's a lot of pieces of gear, right? So if we say 10,000, right? So that's 10,000 experience for that one piece of gear, and we go here and we say, okay, this is going to be 1,200. So let's divide 1,200 into that. One Lego charm is worth 8 pieces, or 8.33 pieces of 6-star gear. That is very, very knowledgeable to have. Like, that's very good to keep in mind. So that means those are worth a lot, right? We go ahead and we divide it into a 5-star piece of gear, which gives you 700, which is going to be farming in campaign mode. That's going to be 14 of those required to equal 1 legendary. Now, this does even out just a little bit differently when it comes to the purple ones. It's about a 2.5 ratio, which is not bad as well. But the reason why we're bringing this up is because there are ways to get those special charms. For example, gold shop every day. Make sure you're buying these. It happened to work out that they were here this time. I promise I did not plan that. I usually don't plan this far ahead when I do my videos. So that was actually that was a pleasant surprise. All right. The other thing to note is when you come in here to is it the arena shop? Yeah, the arena shop. So here you have a special gear charm. It's worth 10,000 EXP. Cost you 100 points. This is basically 100 battles. This is going to be super de-duper hard to acquire. It's not going to be an infinite farming, is what I want to point out. So a lot of people will say, hey, go buy these in this events. You can kind of do that, but notice, like, other than this advanced charm here, you're not going to like wail out and get all of them that you want. Now, these advanced charms here are pretty worth it if you're just wanting to utilize some of your blue shards. Like, notice I'm up to 1,500 blue shards. I could easily summon all those, go ahead, banish all my characters. I could get a lot of the purple charms, which will help upgrade the gear. But the other thing that I want to point out is right now we have a very special opportunity to get more. Now, here's why I say this. So if we go into Fire Slam, right, this is the new event that we have going on. Now, I haven't done a whole lot yet because I've been kind of waiting for the 7-day trial to end. But let's go ahead, let's do a quick battle. Let's end this battle, and let's show you how much you get currently as a reward. And we'll talk about what the bread breakdown is to the rewards that you're going to get, and how that all jives as far as like where you can cash that in. So we're going to do like an analysis of, okay, well, where's going to be the best places to get these charms or pieces of gear that are going to allow you to upgrade your character's gear to plus 15, plus 12 for the event. Okay, so we're back from this battle. Now, we did get a first, which gave us some charms. We're going to ignore those for now. Let's go ahead. Let's see what the other rewards are for this event. So if we keep going here, when we get to this farmable one, this is where we're going to get consistent materials from. This is the one where you're going to be able to farm it more often to get more resources. Okay, so we're back. Now, this was the last run. Now, the reason why I showed you the run before that and then this run is because notice that the second battle, one, it didn't have a multi-battle option on it because I hadn't completed it yet. But for 2, you can see the first time run, but there was no other bonus rewards given. Now that we're on the 3rd stage, this is where you can get the bonus rewards. In this case, we got jelly, we got 50 of the jaded shards, and we got some gold. Now, something to note is how much gold was required for a purple piece of gear. That's right, 3,000 gold. In this case, we got 3,600. So we've actually equivalized our purple charms with the gold. Now, the reason why we're bringing this up is because that is 50 of these jaded shards. I think that's pretty common in the current event. And the reason why we're going to keep talking about that is because that put us up to 150. If I go to this event shop here, we can scroll down. Notice that the advanced charms are 100. Okay, so that means 2 runs get you 1 advanced charms and hopefully enough gold to cover that advanced charm. So that way you're not going into a gold to charm ratio debt when upgrading gear. In my case, I have plenty of gold. I'm not worried about it, but I know a lot of people out there are really struggling with their gold consumption. This is probably why they're struggling with their gold consumption, is because they're getting out of proportion on the advanced gear charms. Now, let's talk about the amount of energy required to farm that. So that's going to be 20 energy. Okay, so let's pull it up here. So that's going to be 20 energy, and that'll get you essentially one purple piece of gear. Now, let's go talk about if we were to take, the 20 bread. What if we were to go invest that in another area? Now, if we go to, let's say we go adventure mode and we go mythic, what's the likely gear here that's going to drop? Let's look at it. Likely gear is going to be a 4 or 5 star piece of gear. Okay, and it's going to cost me 12 bread for essentially maybe 2, we'll be on the generous side, we'll say 2 5-star pieces of gear drops. Okay, so that would be minus 24. Okay, so it costs us another 4 bread, and we wouldn't get as many of the pieces of gear that we need to upgrade. Okay, so that is going to be a wash. We're not going to do that. All right, the next thing to talk about is going to be the endless trials. Well, this cost us, you guessed it, absolutely nothing. Okay, but the problem is this isn't going to be self-sustaining. So when we go into here, it costs you no energy. All it costs you is time, right? It costs you a lot of time to go ahead and complete this, but it's worth it because this is the best way to get your free gems, your free charms, as well as some decent pieces of gear. But it cost us no energy. So definitely want to hit this first. Get your endless trials done. I know a lot of people skip them. Now is not the time. Don't skip them. You want to do them so that way you can complete that event. Okay. So let's talk about another area where you can get those charms. Okay. So you're not going to get them when farming for abilities. Unfortunately, that's just not a drop loot. However, when you're farming for gear here, like so say you farm a lot of Ash Magisteria, you farm a lot of Queen of Tides, whatever that case may be, you can get a 6-star piece of gear, right? We talked about that. As well as you can get some charms that will drop in those events. I have dropped, I know for a fact, individual gear piece types in farming for like Ash Magisteria or Queen of Tide. They do drop. The drop rates are very low. I really should do a video where I just compile all the drop rates for all the resources. I'll probably work on that. Maybe I'm going to be out of town for some work-related stuff. Maybe while I'm out of town, we'll make a spreadsheet and we'll record it. But the reason why we're bringing this up is because in this, the most likely rewards is going to be 5-star to 6-star gear. Now let's go on the generous side. Let's say you get 2 6-stars that drop. 6 stars gave us 1,200 experience points. They gave us 2,400 experience points on 1 run, and that's with 12 energy. Okay, so that's with 12 energy. That's going to be, once again, my big old head just always in the way, guys. I apologize. As you can see here, that's with the 12 bread. So you have choices, is what I'm getting at. You could go and you can try to go farm Ash Magisteria and you can drop gear. However, a lot of times you're not going to drop the gear you want. And what's going to happen is you'll get a 700 plus a 1,200. You'll get maybe 1,900 experience points in 1 run per 12 energy. So that means you're going to be looking at double that, 3,800 energy. And it's going to cost you about 24 of the bread. So let's say 3,800 divided by 24. So you're looking at about 158.33 experience points per energy. We'll rate it. something like that. I know it's a weird metric to talk about, but we'll rate it like that. But let's talk about if we were to go back to this Fire Slam event, and you know, even though the other rewards aren't the greatest, because yes, I mean, if you're farming dungeons, you could get potentially gear you need. But let's just say you wanted to just complete these events, okay, and you just wanted to go ahead and get that purple Arcana. This is probably gonna be the best option for you because we got 50 jadeless shards on here, and that's pretty common. So let's say we get 100 of those, right? Which gives us one charm. So it's 2 runs for 1 charm, and 1 charm, once again, gets 3,000 points. So we'll say that 20. So we'll say that 3,000, right? Divided by the 20 bread, and we're at 150 of the, I guess 150 EXP per energy. So that's kind of the breakdown. If you want to really take a step back and kind of see if this is going to be worth farming for you or not. My opinion personally, given that I was pretty generous with talking about the dungeon and the gear that you're going to get back from the dungeon, I feel like if you really wanted to go ahead and progress this event and you want to do this in a timely fashion, I would say you go ahead and you farm some of your Fire Slams. I would say it's definitely not advantageous to not farm this. Mainly because you're going to get the gold resources you need, you're going to get the Jadeless Shards. It's going to allow you to go ahead and purchase some of the other things, as well as build up some resources. And I think that's going to be worth it. I mean, because literally you have up to 5 summoning shards here. You're probably going to want to get those anyways. These advanced charms, this is going to be a very consistent way to get these that doesn't take a whole lot of time. Because, I mean, these runs were pretty quick. Let's do a quick multi-battle. Let's do 2 battles. And let's just see, this is with a team that's not even like specialized or nothing. This is just literally whatever team I was using. I feel like these runs will go pretty quickly. Okay, we're back. We did do the 2 runs here, and I did this because I wanted to see what the fluctuation was going to be. It took about 46 seconds on average, is what it's saying for the battles. That's not bad. That's pretty good. So for every 46 seconds, you could complete 1 round. This gave us some jelly, as well as it gave us some gold. In this case, if I really wanted to max efficiency here, I could turn on my jelly boost, go ahead and get it boosted up. Get us some Jaded Scarlets. It's going to be very quickly. The only problem that's going to happen is you're going to run out of energy very fast. And that's going to be where it's totally going to be dealer's choice. Because, you know, you have other ways to get this energy. You can buy it with your diamonds. You can buy the meal coupons. That's usually what I do. I come in here and I use my like event tokens for my meal coupons. A lot of times, where's the other area that I can use it as? I believe the trial shop. Yep, the trial shop. When I do my my endless trials, I try to always buy coupons in here as well. I do know you can buy these other resources, but I feel like energy is probably the best ROI as far as return on investment goes. So I use that a lot more than a lot of people do. I also use a lot of my Guild Vault stuff for those meal coupons as well, because other than these charms, this gear usually is not worth it, and I don't need another Yolanda. So, but that is what I use my diamonds on, and that's how I always have so much energy. It's up to you how you guys want to do this. My goal in this video was to show you that, okay, if you want to try to advance your gear and level up your gear, you can say you have current pieces of gear that are worth it. I just wanted to show you guys the ways that you could get the charms to do this. And I also just wanted to talk briefly on the amount of resources required to go ahead and take this up here. Now notice that a 5-star plus 15 will give you plus 750, and a plus 12 here gets you 200. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, like I said at the very beginning of the video, I don't know if you remember this, you can make 3 level 12s by the time it takes you to make 1 plus 15. Now this does include going from 0 to 12 and 2 more 12s to get to 15. I did the math. That's what it amounts to. There's a little bit of a remainder, but that's essentially what that requires. So this means that if you just take some pieces of gear to 12, you're going to get 300, 370, 420 of these pieces of experience here. So taking a lot of pieces of gear to 12 is going to go very quickly. It's going to be probably the best way to complete this event cheaply. However, if you have a lot of pieces of gear that are at 12 and you need to kick them up a notch to get them to that 750, that's where you're going to be. It's going to cost you a little bit of an exchange rate here because, like I said here, you had, what is this? So 200, right, plus 100. We're just reverse engineering our math. 770 plus 50. 420 experience points for going from 0 to level 12 on one piece of gear. This is on a 6-star piece of gear. Well, I'm not doing the math for a 5-star. Let's keep that in mind because you definitely don't want to be taking 5-star gear to 12 ever, in my opinion. So 420 here, okay. Or you could subtract that to 750. That means you can get another 330 points for a plus 15. And the reason why we say it like that is because just to get to level 12, you get quite a bit of those experience points, and it takes 2 more level 12s. So that would be 420 times 2. That's 840 minus the 750 for just going up there. So you sacrifice 90 potential experience points by making one level 15 piece of gear. However, a lot of people out there are really needing that level 15 to take them to that next level. So I'm not going to discourage you from doing this, but I just want you to be aware that you are sacrificing 80 potential experience points on this event. So definitely keep that in mind. But that's where hopefully this Fire Slam event can kind of come into play and help you figure out how much resources you really want to invest in completing this event and taking advantage of the farming for the shardlets, because it's going to be very reliable to get your resources to get those purple charms versus going in and farming dungeons that take so much more time. 46 seconds versus, even my fastest Ash Magisteria, I think it's like a minute 12. The difference there is just insane. It's definitely a no-brainer. You want to go farm the Fire Slam to get those charms. But this is the full breakdown as far as what you're sacrificing by trying to get gear to plus 15. I hope this helped you guys. I hope you were able to take, I know this is a lot of information. I hope you were able to take it all in. I did not do a spreadsheet on it because I didn't want to have a bunch of convoluted spreadsheets out there. Let me know in the comments down below. If I need to make one, I'll make one. I'll post it. That way you guys have a updated information tree for it. But yeah, I hope this helps you guys. I really do. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Peace.